Hey, it's Bridgette. I'm going to do a summary for you of the session that we had just concluded on the new moon, Hope, Whispers of Soul. And I just want to do a little bit of a recap since I don't actually have a formal replay. Good thing I took a couple of notes. One of the core mantras that was derived from our group with thanks of one of you, divine women, is be brave to crave, brave to crave. So this energy of craving came from the question of wanting more, like this feeling that we all kind of have about what we should want, what we shouldn't want. And I posed the question to the group about where does your want come from? Where does that wanting feeling, where does that come from? And so then we talked about that a little bit, and that's a good question for some journaling. And then the second part of that is what stops that? Like what holds that back? What stops that? And some of the conversations was about like society, how we were raised, what we observed. Our behaviors were created based upon the sort of like the structure that we were observing and things that were being modeled for us. And so we learned how to be. And part of that, especially as women, was we shouldn't want more. We should be grateful for what we have. We should be good and grateful and all that. And there was a lot of discussion around that. And then what came out of it was this word crave. I kept feeling this word craving. What are you longing for? What are you craving? Oftentimes in session, I'll ask women, what do you need? What is it that you need? And that offers like a reflection, some time to kind of really feel into the answer to that. And instead of asking you that, I'd like you to use the tool of, what do I crave? What am I craving? And instead of taking that word crave as negative, because that's what I do, I share that I think of craving as like a negative thing, almost like I'm going to go binge on some Twinkies. I'm craving, and usually it's I'm craving and it's something bad, like that should be withheld from me, or it's rebellious. It's like naughty. And really we need to redefine some of those words so that we can be free in our expression. So one of the energies, I was doing this the whole time, so now you won't miss the fact that I was like messing with my hair because it's all over. One really probably one of the most important things in our time together in our session was the energy of the when we dropped into our belly to the whispers. We were trying to get into beyond intuition. The intention was to go beyond intuition, beyond just a message from our soul and our spirit, but beyond that, like beneath that, deeper than that. And so we ended up in our sacral chakra, so that rich orange sacral chakra energy. We ended up in there, and it was like a pumpkin colored. It was really muted at first. And then it was discovered that the solar plexus, the spirit, has support. The soul has support, and it's beneath that. It's not from the mind or the heart only. It's not like mind, heart, soul, and then the body. It's mind, heart, soul, and that sacral chakra is that embodiment energy. So the solar plexus, the spirit, and the sacral chakra are partners. They're united. There's like this unity energy. And so we did this figure 8. We drew the energy of the infinity sign, but it was top and bottom. It wasn't sideways here. It was top and bottom. And it was the light of the solar plexus, that light of God, that speck of God as light, that alchemy of light, and then in the spirit, the solar plexus, and then in the sacral chakra, it was this orange that faded into like this red, and it was like this fire element. It was this fire in the belly, not like this, it wasn't even like a transmuting fire, it was a uniting energy. So this fire and light working together, and there was a lot of revelations about the sacral chakra as this like internal life coach, this internal guide, this internal healer, this incredible like a plant, like manufacturing plant. Like the sacral chakra is productivity, it's creativity, it's drive, desire, ambition, it's career, it's what you crave, it's motivation, it's inspiration, it's constant renewable energy there, and it's expanded potential. It's expanded potential. And the thing is, one of the really cool things that came up was that the sacral chakra is naturally being supported by the root chakra, so beneath. So you don't have to like drop into the sacral chakra and then go to the root chakra. The root chakra actually comes up to be a platform, a good foundation, a core foundation, a very stable foundation for the sacral chakra. And then the sacral chakra then supports, fuels, inspires the solar plexus when you acknowledge that it can. Otherwise, most of us, like when our spiritual stuff, it's just like you know your mind, then you drop into your heart, then you drop into your solar plexus, your spirit, and that's it. It's like mind, body, spirit. It's like, no, there's more. There's more. And in that sacral chakra, there's like this fear of, or this resistance to like this intimacy part of it, where there's these deeper knowings, these deeper longings, these deeper wanting more, this oh my gosh, I'm so powerful energy. And then what if I have to change my life because I feel this connection to something different than what my life looks like? And is it okay to have something different than what my life looks like? And there's this really special energy, this unity between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. And that's a really important part of our session, of our time together, especially with the new moon energy. Usually it's like desire, dreams, new, what do you want, that kind of an energy. And we've coined the term crave. And then someone in our group, I think it was Lisa actually, that said, be brave to crave, brave to crave. It's like a mantra for us as we move forward. And we've really learned to work with our sacral chakra, because it's like, what if that's the missing piece? That's the divine woman. That's the energy of us as women. So I did rocks, word rocks for everybody. And you can look at the Divine Woman Facebook group. I posted a picture of the word rocks and a little video of them for everybody. And I also did, I pulled some cards for us from the 13 moon oracle cards. This is archetypal work. This is priestessing work. This is really major archetypal divine feminine work, very powerful. And I asked for assistance for us. And we got the goddess of love. I already put them back here though. We got the goddess of love, and we got the structure card. And it was about knowing that there is structure in this desire space. There is structure in this womb space, the womb, the wisdom inside of you, in that sacral chakra. That is what is supporting your spirit. That is totally what's supporting your spirit. That is so much what we're seeking. And there's structure in that. So we don't have to be afraid that if we feel into deeper what we want, what we crave, what we are really, really just drawn to or pulled to, that, we're going to lose sight of like reality. We're going to make bad decisions for our families, or we're going to up and leave our kids and move to the mountains and then live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere and not shower or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that extreme, you guys. There is a structure and a pattern, and this is that sacred geometry, the Sri Yantra. This is also connected, I mentioned, to the goddess of compassion, which reminds us to have compassion with ourselves as we're learning about this relationship, this intimate relationship with our spirit and our sacral chakra. That sacral chakra, guys, that's the divine feminine. That is like the house, man. That is the house. And then the goddess of love showed up also. And that's cool because in the beginning of when we created space today, we connected with nature, talked a little about the elementals, had nature spirit Pan was here. I shared a little bit about the elementals, fairies. Some of you also shared about like gnomes and things like that, just kind of something funny. You were laughing about that. And somebody had it on their coffee mug, and then somebody mentioned it. Hey, I think about these red mushrooms and this and that. And we talked about moss and really just feeling nature, That's how we set our space. And then I mentioned that when I went up to get my word rocks, because I'm like, I really felt drawn to bring the rocks in for session. So before session, I went and grabbed them. And as I was coming downstairs, I was like, oh, I saw this. This is Ganesh, Hindu god, goddess aspect, Ganesha, and brought Ganesha into session to help just be part of the energy of our time together. And in addition, I saw in my mind's eye then when I grabbed that Ganesha card, I saw Lakshmi. Lakshmi was present in our session a little bit. I didn't actually formally channel anyone in our session, but was present with the energy of the light and like love energy, very love, abundance, and energy that's lighthearted. Lighthearted energy related to then love and abundance, and how when we're working with our sacral chakra, love and abundance isn't something we usually identify necessarily with our womb space. We identify it with our heart space, right? And I shared about how for me, the womb space or the sacral chakra is very like physical. It's like the place where you have babies, quite literally, like I had 4. So like, yeah, I've been through all that. And so to recognize that sacral chakra as a place that is all the resources for our spirit is like amazing. Like it blew my mind. Like I couldn't even, it's such a big thought, such a big concept to even think about that. And so then also as I was talking, we had a brief visit from Isis, and she's the midwife, right? She's the Egyptian goddess Isis. She comes in a lot of the divine woman work that I do and the moon cycle stuff that I do. And she came in and she's the midwife. So she, of course, would help us, coach us, work with our sacral chakra. And she was about letting ourselves long for, letting ourselves begin to explore these cravings and these desires. And in our conversations then in our sharing in our group, a couple of key things came up. One was potential, the potential we have with this brave to be brave to crave, and this feeling of longing and wanting more was this potential. How much potential is there? Wow, in that sacral chakra. And then seeking freedom to follow our cravings. Like we really want freedom, but it's not external, it's internal. And that everything is purposeful. Someone shared that comment. I thought that was so powerful. Everything is purposeful. And what if we showed up in that way, where everything is on purpose? We're showing up and we're so connected. We just are there for whatever purpose we're there for, and we're open to collaborating and being in relationship with what that looks like. And also, someone also shared their experience of, I felt so passive up to this point, and now I feel like I've been on purpose. So from passiveness to purposeful, like that is really. And then that number 8 again, that figure 8 to help connect the spirit. And that's beyond intuition, you guys. It's deeper than that. It's beneath that energy. And then we had I said something really that I think is really important to hit home. And that is this energy of like, go, 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 action, action. We got to do this. Just do it, Nike. Just do it. And how we're focused on that. I was thinking about this yesterday when I was on my drive, just leaving the farm for my life coach. And I thought, no, it's not supposed to be go, go, go. It's supposed to be wait. That the productivity is in the stillness. It comes from the stillness. That is the precursor. That is the preparation. And someone in our group mentioned talking about needing patience or feeling like they're waiting, like at a bus stop, and they're waiting and waiting. And then one of the women shared about how the experience that she's had of waiting, then all of a sudden something kind of came up, and then what after she let go. So we talked about then, instead of letting go, we talked about how the letting go energy has been understood or misunderstood or interpreted as like this, okay, I'm done with this, I'm done. Well, there's a difference between like throwing it away, letting it go, and completion, or being complete with it. I'm complete with that portion of it. And then it came back. So for her, it came back in and showed up in a different way that was so much more and better than the narrow view of how it was defined before, because she was able to let it go. And it wasn't really letting it go necessarily, it was letting it be, or let be. And that came from our first session, let be, let be, let be. And this energy then came through, like I was like, wait, like chanting it. And I talked about how, in very real terms, how that works, like using an example of the soccer analogy, because I've been at soccer games recently a lot. So I was watching the goalkeeper, and there was a penalty kick where the opposing team gets to kick on the goalkeeper. Just one person, and nobody gets to stop it or anything. It's just that one person kicking and the goalkeeper. And I'm like, the goalkeeper has to wait. He's not acting. He's not going for it. He's not just doing it. He has to wait for the kick to come toward him to be able to receive the kick, right? And so, but while he's waiting, he's not just standing there like, doing nothing. Waiting and doing nothing is two different things. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing, okay? As in doing nothing being lazy, okay? Doing nothing's good. But like, feeling like, I'm doing nothing, not coming from an unmotivated place, but that the goalkeeper was like moving. He was like back and forth, shifting his weight. But if he would have taken action and dove before the ball was even kicked, he wouldn't even have a chance to connect with the ball, to receive it. So he had to wait. That's part of the strategy. That's part of life's strategy, is to wait. And guess what? You're moving while you're waiting. You're in motion. Waiting doesn't mean you do absolutely no movement. You're always flowing. Energy is always flowing in movement. Movement is happening in stillness. Movement is happening while you're waiting. Interesting, huh? All right, let's see if there's anything else. We talked a lot about in the beginning about moss and nature. Just looking to see. Yeah, I think those are the big points. I just wanted to make sure I did a recap, you guys, because I feel bad when I don't feel that bad, to be honest, though. You know why? I feel bad for the people that weren't on live. I know that really sucks. I'm so sorry for you about that. But at the same time, there was like this kind of alchemy in the moment. It was like so about being present, like at this time, in this moment, all coming together at the exact right alignment and receiving the energy. That piece of that puzzle, that orange piece of that puzzle was just, that sacral chakra was just so powerful. For me personally, it's so powerful. So use all of these things in ways that are going to help you and support you, and use the words and the phrases and the things that have come up for you from the session that you can remember, and journal on them. And things will pop up or inspire you. It might not be the exact words, like it might not be crave, it might not be longing, it might not be potential, it might not be those words, but those words may have planted a seed, that the seed then, when it starts to open up and become a plant, you acknowledge it. Like, that's the thing. The seed is the idea. So don't worry about not being here in person to watch this. You have been called in. You were part of the group. I called everyone in. And the group can attest to that. I did that. And you also had a word rock, and you were included in that. So that's just the way it is. So we're going to let be. All right, you guys. So check out the information about October for Divine Woman. If you want to join again, great. And the information will be in this email as well, in the email. All right. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for understanding the technology thing. It is what it is. Like, hey, we're just going to let be. Thanks, you guys.